Okay, there's going to be some continuity issues in this video because I got so sidetracked. You guys are so full of complaints. I end up going all over the place to try and cover all my bases. I forgot what I was going to say. Have a better display picture on social media, whatever it is, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, I don't even know, wherever, on the internet, just take a better picture of yourself and put that as your display picture. And where you can, just take pictures of yourself doing stuff, whatever it is, even if you're just walking to the bus stop, just take a nice selfie and put it up, but make sure you look good, okay? Because why not? Because why not? All right. You have friends on Facebook. They have friends. Some of them are women. And if you post a picture up and tag your friend in it and say, "Hey, look at this car I just saw," haha. But it's like a selfie where you're pointing at the car, like, "Hey, look at that thing." If you look good in that picture, his friends will see that he got tagged in a thing. Then they might comment. Then you can talk to them. But look good in that photo. Same thing with just your display picture on whatever it is. Facebook, like I said. Because they'll look at that and say, "Oh, that guy said a funny thing. Who is that?" And then they'll click on your name, and then they'll go check your profile. Or dating apps, obviously. I mean, I've never used dating apps, but because I got married like 10 years ago, I met my wife, so I never really used dating apps. There were no such things back then. For obvious reasons, have a good picture on your dating app. Like, what are they? Tinder? Grindr? You devious bastards, I'm not here to judge. Have a good looking photo of yourself. Now, this whole video is me taking a good photo of myself, making myself look better in a photo. But you may not have the equipment that I have. I almost guarantee you don't have the equipment that I have. Because I love photography, so it's something I'm passionate about, and I have a whole bunch of different stuff. Even this lens is a weird, strange thing that no one else has. But I'm just using this one because it's funny. Yeah. Even just taking a photo with your phone. Here, I'll show you an example. Although it might be a bit dark for this phone. But here, let's do this. I'll take one photo. Hey, selfie! Oh, Jesus, that's going to be bad. Okay, and then I'll take the same thing from back here. Just a normal photo. There you go, just that. As simple as that. One photo is way better than the other. And look up techniques on how to take better photos with your phone. Because you can make yourself look better by just holding the camera further away from yourself. Oh, I don't know. If you have a friend who has a camera, then just tell them. I mean, people who take photos, they love taking photos. Just say, "I want some photos for my social media." Just a display picture on my dating app or Facebook or something. Let's just take some photos. I've never met a photo guy who will say, "I don't want to take photos of you." That's crazy. It's like if someone asks me, "Hey, let's go dancing," and then I say, "No, I don't want to go dancing with you." That's insane. Even if you don't, pay someone. Pay someone. A couple $100. Pay someone for a photo session. And it will be the best couple $100 you'll ever spend in terms of social media stuff. And I mean, you might feel like, "Oh, I don't want to be some loser who's paying for photos or getting them done, even if you don't pay. It looks try hard." No matter what you suggest to someone, they'll always come up with negative responses. You know what, just enjoy this video. I don't even know what to tell you. Enjoy it. I'm sorry, I've got a bit of a flu or something, so my nose is blocked, but that won't really get in the way of what I'm trying to say. Now, some of you, I think most of you, have caught on that all my dating for bald guys, the tips, aren't really dating tips for bald guys. I've done this intentionally because there's no such thing. The fact that you're bald is irrelevant, okay? You could look up dating tips for anyone, okay? It won't make a difference. Just because you're bald doesn't mean you have to say different things, approach different women, go to different places, do any of that. No, you just do the same thing any normal guy would do, right? Now, why have I put a camera right up there? It's because look at my head, okay? I am bald, just like most of you, I'm guessing, who are watching this. This is probably about, let's say, 4 days of having not shaved. So if I go out as I look right now, it's very obvious that I have very thin hair on top compared to the rest of my head. Not sure how close I can get there, but look at that. I'm very bald. So the fact that you're bald doesn't mean you have to do special things to attract women, or just to be confident or whatever it is. Now, obviously, a lot of you think it is a big deal because you wouldn't be watching this, and there wouldn't be all these hair products for men, and you wouldn't be able to get tattoos of where your hairline should be. Oh man, all that kabuki stuff and whatever that I tried purely out of curiosity. I don't actually use the stuff. I've used it 5 or 6 times as a joke. You don't need any of that sort of thing. You have guys who are tall, guys who are short. I'm very tall, I'm 6'6". So I'm taller than 99.9 or whatever the percentage is of guys, okay? It doesn't mean I have some unbelievable advantage over everyone else to get a woman. Sure, probably most women would go for me rather than a guy who's, I don't know, 4'5" or something, or I don't even know what a low height is. You're all so short compared to me. I really don't care what an average height is or what a low height is. But let's say 6'6" is super tall, 6 I think is average, so 5'5", is that really short? I think, just by some kind of logic. Okay, probably most women would go for the 6'6" guy compared to 5'6". But you're one guy, and there are like 3.5 billion women out there. Okay, so it's not like 99% of women will choose the tall guy. Because believe me, it's ridiculous when I hug a friend, or even girls that I've dated, when you hug a girl that's that tall. That's just crazy. I mean, it's ridiculous, like Shaq and his wife or whatever. Why? You know, you don't need to go for... Not every woman will go for the tall guy. The same thing with skinny and fat guys. I think most women would go for the skinnier guy. See, that's probably not even true. People are a bit messed up. I am very, very careful of how fat I am, or not, rather. 1 second. Very conscious of my body weight, so I like to keep nice and relatively low body fat. But most people don't care as much as I do. And you will say, a lot of you watch my videos and I give you tips and it's like, yeah, but it's easy for you, you're so good looking. I mean, is it easy for me? You think I'm just naturally like this? Or do you think that I don't eat garbage all the time? Sure, I'll eat McDonald's sometimes, and I ate this massive bit of cake today, just for a laugh, and it was actually not that great. My neighbor's playing drums. Just be more careful with what you eat. But even so, a lot of women would prefer a guy who's more fat than I am. For some strange reason which escapes me. But it's true. And if you look, there are plenty of fat guys with girlfriends. So that's not stopping you either. It doesn't work in your advantage to be anorexic. It doesn't work in your advantage to be, what's the other one? Obese. But it's not a dead end. It doesn't mean you cannot find someone to like you just because of that. Some guys can't grow facial hair. My dad, somehow, I don't know, I didn't inherit the genes, but my dad has the worst beard. He has a mean mustache, but this neck, side of the face, nothing. He pretty much doesn't have sideburns, okay? And as far as I know, I was born so he was able to make children with my mother. 2 children, okay? Even though he doesn't have a beard. You might be a white guy, you might be a black guy, you might be Asian, you might be Aborigine, you might be, I don't even know, whatever, man. Some Icelandic, whatever. And you may think, oh, women like black guys because they have certain advantages over. Okay, maybe that might be a curiosity I might like to look into. But last time I checked, they're not the only ones with girlfriends. So, whatever. Personally, my left leg, because I was in an accident, I broke my right leg when I was a little kid in a car accident. I was in the back of the car. Broke my leg. Now this leg, as a result of a bunch of complications, is a couple centimeters longer than my left leg. That never stopped me from having girlfriends. It's stupid. Like, my left leg is shorter than my right leg. Hasn't stopped me from dancing. I'm definitely one of the most popular Melbourne shufflers in the world. And my legs aren't even the same length. Okay? That's crazy. You can't let something stop you from achieving whatever you want to achieve just because you have a disadvantage. So, being bald, yeah, it's not helping you. I mean, there's probably very few women that would prefer a bald guy. But it's definitely not a deal breaker. It hasn't stopped me. Hasn't stopped any number of guys. And I did a video where I showed you all these, you know, The Rock and whatever, all these other guys, Jason Statham, who pretty much has hair like this. Like, he doesn't even care. He doesn't even shave his head. All these movies, his hair is like 2 weeks long. Which is just, like, get rid of that. It's terrible. It's like a 19-year-old guy trying to grow a beard. It's just disgusting. Just get rid of it. Shave it. Yeah, you're all saying, oh, it's easy for him, he's rich. It's easy for him, he's famous. It's easy for him, he's good looking. It's easy for him, he's funny. It's, man, of course it is. Ipso facto, be funny. Do something about the shape of your body. You know, eat better, go to the gym, dress better, which is kind of the point of this video. Shave your stupid head. Don't try and hide it. Don't try and hide it. Like, what's the point of trying to hide whatever this is? I personally don't care. I walk around like this. I obviously do. If you watch my videos, most of the time it's like this, roughly. This is how I look most of the time. I shave my head, and then I shave it again in 5 or 6, 7 days, when it's way too late. Alright, so what I've just done is, dressed up as I am in just my regular jumper, whatever. Haven't shaved for about 4 days. You can see I'm quite bald. I'll show you later. Well, actually, I probably already have shown you chronologically. This, for me, is all messed up, but you'll see it the way I imagine. I use that camera there. 85mm lens at f8, 1/60th of a second, because that's a sync speed for the flashes. And I have used a green gel on here because I know nothing about color coordination and whatnot, but the internet tells me that red colors go with green colors, so we'll just do that. And now I'm gonna shave and dress a little bit nicer, and then I'll take some more photos and we'll compare them and see how much of a difference that makes. If I wanted to look good all the time, if that mattered to me, I would shave my head every second day. Yeah, that's not so hard. You just go and shave your head. I have those crazy eyebrows, so if you want to look good, if that bothers you, here you go. It's just basically one of these regular shaving nose ear attachments, which I will also do, with a little thing that creates a bit of distance so that you can cut the hair to length. Just in case if anyone was wondering what I'm using, a Philips Powerful Precision Micro Trimmer. It includes 2 eyebrow combs, nose and ear trimmer. Easy, I mean pretty cheap as well. And yeah, nobody needs hair in their ears. That's just crazy. I can't believe people believe that God created people and then put hair in their ears. That's crazy. Look at my back. Why would someone design that? Speaking of which, if that bothers you, and it never did bother me, just get it waxed, I suppose. Don't worry about the chest. I mean, that's... Yeah, come on. You're a man, be a man. The hair thing, some of you are way worse than me. You're basically this at the back. Just get rid of that. I think maybe laser hair removal might be a thing, but it doesn't bother me. I never trim mine, but if it really bothers you, just get it lasered or something. This is anti-dandruff shampoo, which I'm putting in my shaving cream. I'll make a video about it in another video. You don't have to if you don't have dandruff problems. I'll explain in another video. Now, I've done 90% of the shaving with this razor because it doesn't get clogged up. It's got a big gap for the hair to fall out of after it's been cut off. These 4 razor things, 4, 5 razors, this one's 5. They're good if you shave every day or every second day. If your hair gets even a little bit longer, the whole thing just gets blocked up. So it's good to use one of those first, or even if you find one of these with 2 razors or something like that. Then you can clean up with this, and it does a great job. Okay, let's do that again. I'll keep the framing, the colors, everything the same. I'll wear a different shirt that's a bit nicer, but keep the same color, like I said, because you gotta be scientific in life always, so you don't want to introduce variables that you just don't need. That would then just go on to influence the results. And you gotta clean up after yourself like a big boy. Wow, I haven't used this camera for a while. So basically I'm gonna do the same thing I did before, except I didn't record that. And this is a tripod I haven't used in a couple of years. I'll put a tripod next to that camera and then you'll be able to sort of see what that camera is seeing roughly. I'm just gonna quickly calibrate the color. Yeah, so I mean just the color, it's sort of really important. Anyway, you can fix it in the computer, but the less you have to do there, the better the result. So that is before the color adjustment. This is with it. So quite a big difference. Actually, pretty happy with that anyway. I'll take another couple photos just in case, but that's about it really. I got what I want. Damn it. Oh, so cheesy. Now, while I'm happy with that, and it's good for the comparison, I'll take one the way I would rather crop it myself. People like to have the whole sort of image there. I like to get in closer to the face. So that means cut off the top of the head, sort of like that, except the camera, this camera that I'm recording with, records much wider with that lens. So now it's like you might think, oh, is he hiding the top of his head? So maybe have some of both kind of pictures. Yeah, I've got a head up there. There's no need to see it. I think it's more important to see this than this. Okay, especially since you can't just cut it there. That's a bit ugly. So yeah, around there would be perfect. So I'll compose it that way. Come on, focus. It's a bit dark. I'll have to turn on some lights, I think. Man. So there you go. I shaved my head, put on this shirt. That's all I did. Literally about 20 minutes work, and I believe I look a lot better this way. Now, I don't normally get dressed like this. I just wear hoodies and shave once a week or whatever. But if you're trying to impress women, then yeah, by all means, every couple of days, take 15-20 minutes to shave your head. That's such a simple thing to do, and it makes a big difference. Now, you may, I'm gonna get so many negative comments from so many people. You just can't help some people. I mean, I try, but you guys are still gonna think, yeah, but they'll still know you're bald. What's the point? Yeah, they'll know I'm bald. Look at my head. It's bald. How will they possibly not know I'm bald? But I don't look like a sloppy pig. I've put some effort. I've put some effort into the way I look. That's the important thing. Now, believe me, this is such a small thing. And like I did for the photos, just put on a hat. I love hats. For one, if you're bald, they're really good to protect you from the sun if you live in this blasted country. And I mean blasted by UV rays. So wear a hat. This is one I bought in Sydney on a recent trip with my wife. Who married me despite the fact that I'm bald. And I paid, I think, $120 for it. It's an expensive hat as far as hats go. But I love it. I love this hat. I love it. I believe it would be like a paper delivery boy hat or something like that in the previous century. It's a Failsworth, established 1903. In any case, I love hats, and I especially love this new hat I bought a couple of months ago. Now, of course, the comments will now say, but what happens when I have to take the hat off? She'll know I'm bald. Oh my God, the whole point of all this is not to try and hide the fact that you're bald. It's to show that you're okay with it. Be okay with the fact that you're bald. Be okay with your height. Be okay with your, fitness level. Be okay with yourself. Just be okay with who you are. Do take steps to look better. Shave your head, get dressed better, go to the gym, read some books. Become a more interesting and better person. Become healthier. Look after yourself. Of course, a woman is going to go for a guy who looks after himself compared to a guy who doesn't look after himself. No one wants to date a bush pig. So, take some time and be a better version of yourself. Because that's what's attractive. The fact that you're bald will, if let's say you have a rating of 100 and you're bald, okay? It might take 10 points off your score, let's say. So you'll never be 100, perfect 100 score, okay, on attractiveness. But you might be a 75 or a 90. Well, let's be realistic. You might be like an 80 if you really work hard. go to the gym or do all these things. You know what? It's not even 10 points. What am I talking about? It'll be a few percent of what really matters. If you are bald, but then everything else about you is perfect, you drive an expensive car, you wear expensive clothes, and you're smart and interesting and funny, and you can dance and you have all these interests and all this stuff, they'll barely notice that you're bald. No woman is gonna go, yeah, but this millionaire, he's bald. Yeah, nah, can't do it. I'm gonna go for the poor guy who has long hair. It's far less important than many other things. Definitely your fitness level is way more important than how much hair you have on your head. How much money you have is way more important. I don't want some chick who's a gold digger. Get stuffed, you idiot. Of course someone will want to marry a guy who's rich compared to a guy who's not rich. You would too. If you found a rich woman, you'd be like, whoa, this girl's really attractive. And she's actually rich. I've struck gold. What idiot would think of that as a negative? Money. That's crazy. My wife is an engineer. She makes a fair bit of money compared to the average person. A fair bit of money. It's not why I married her, but it's excellent. That's awesome. It's awesome. But if she didn't make any money at all, if she just worked as a girl at a cash register and made, 3 times less than me, I wouldn't care. Some people care more than others. Especially, I guess, it depends on where that person is coming from. If they have a lot of money, they won't really care about the other person's amount of money. If they don't have any money, it'll be sort of higher on their priorities. Get out of the slums, get some financial stability. No one looks for someone who's going to bring them down financially. But it's not that much of a big deal most of the time. And do something to become more financially successful. Do something. Get some skills and start a business, or go get some education and get a better job. It might be a university if you're young, or if you're old, you might not want to go through years and years of training. But you might get a course in something. I don't know, plumbing, for example. Plumbers make a lot of money, man. I've got an aircon installed right behind this camera. It was like $400, and the guy was done in 2 hours. They make good money. All the, he had to connect the gas and the electricity and all that stuff. But it's a year or two of education and a year or two of apprenticeship or whatever it is, and then you can just be balling. Don't be happy making no money forever. Or hate the world because someone else makes more money than you. Whatever, okay? Don't be a negative person. Just do something about who you are. And I get so distracted because there's so much to talk about, but you guys just seem to want to blame everything going wrong in your lives on the fact that you are bald. And the honest truth is, no one cares how bald you are. There's plenty of bald men out there. I've never looked at a guy and thought, look at that loser, he's bald. Except when he does what most of you do. Comb over, try and get, tattoos and wigs and whatever. That's the only time when I've looked at a bald guy and thought, ha, shit, cunt. And I can't be the only one who looks at it that way. Believe me, from personal experience, I know being bald will not stop you getting women. It won't even be a big detrimental thing. You think that most of you that are commenting now, oh, women will never find me attractive because I'm bald. Do you think seriously that you're perfect in every other way? Or that you're even close to good in any other way? I'm guessing that you might be fat, you might be lazy, you might be poor, you might have no fashion sense, you might not have any hobbies or any skills of any type, that you don't know anything, that you, I mean, just go down the list and add all the bad things on there. It hurts to admit these things, but when you do admit that you are a total shit, then you can start improving it. Okay? Now, please don't think I'm just here to offend you. I've just put in hours. My whole afternoon went into this video. I'm trying to help you people. Your hair is the least problem. Shave it and you're done with it. Just shave it. Problem solved. Problem solved. Okay? Now you can move on to way more important things that can help you attract women. Way more important stuff. The hair is a 10-minute solution. Just shave it. Even quicker if you just trim it with one of those machines. Although it's a lot messier. Hair ends up flying everywhere. Just shave it with a razor and be done with it. But my head is a dumb shape. Oh well. My left leg is shorter than my right leg. Big f***ing deal. I don't walk around with a limp. I put a thing in my left shoe to even out the height, and no one knows it until I tell them. But I'm not ashamed of telling people. It's just who I am. It's not even that important. I don't even think about it. Like, I almost forgot just now which leg it's on. Which leg is longer or shorter. And I didn't look at it and think, oh, I'll never be a good dancer because my leg is shorter. Because sometimes, especially if I'm dancing barefoot, it does throw me off balance if I'm spinning or doing something where I've got to really get my balance right. It can mess me up a bit. But with shoes on, it is never an issue. Same thing with the hair. If I walk around with my hair this long and I'm trying to hide it, oh man, women will laugh at me. Holy shit, they will laugh at me. I laugh at those guys. Like, we'll drive down the street. I think today I might have seen a guy with a wig or something. Or recently. Anyway, we'll drive past and I'll be like, did you see that guy? It's terrible. I mean, I'll see photos of myself from the back of my head and I think, whoa, how the hell is my hair that bad? You know, I hope you enjoyed and learned something from that amazing transformation where I went from being just some regular looking bald guy that doesn't really look after himself all that well to the same guy that's just cleaned his act up a little bit. Okay, anyone can do that. Just, God damn it, what is it? Ah, the fruit. Put on some nicer clothes. Clean yourself up. It's that simple.